Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Meadsy69 and welcome back to some more replays. Today we have broke tanks, and we have 4 battles. So all 4 are from broken tanks currently in World of Tanks Blitz. And first up is the 1-2-1, and we are watching Chipottles from the Pramo clan on Black Goldville. The 1-2-1, I've spoken about it recently. It's kind of good tank now. It's one of the best DPM tanks in tier 10, and it has that 420 alpha with the reload, with the accuracy, the penetration's okay, and with that special 1 second or just over 1 second aim time, the tank is OP. I would say the tank is kind of OP, a little bit broken. It's a good tank, and people have been doing really, really well in the tank since it's been buffed the latest. I get a lot of 1-2-1 replays. Currently I get, I reckon, about 10 to 15 replays a week just on this tank alone. And they're not sort of goodish battles. They're not like 5-6k. A lot of them, or most of them, are well over 7,000 damage. So I get quite a lot of these replays. So first we're going to watch Chipottles. We're going to watch him, and he's going to play it really, really well. He's going to use the gun. He's going to use the gun depression, and he's going to use that crazy turret armor that this tank has got. So he's in the middle of the battle. There is tanks to the right, the tortoise, and there are tanks to the left, and he's literally getting anything that he can. He's not just sitting waiting for these guys to poke. If he can shoot a tank, I mean, that shot there on the hatch of the E5 is a very difficult shot to hit. But when you have a reload time and a time lot with this tank, the aim time, there we go, we finally got it out. When we have the aim time of this tank, it's very easy to snapshot tanks and to aim in at the weak points very, very quickly. So you can see already he's blocked, what, 2k damage, and he's nearly up to 4,000 damage. And there are 1 tank down each. There's already been 3 minutes gone on the clock, but there's still a lot of tanks around this area. The E5 is one. Unfortunately, doesn't get that shot, but he's still full hit points. He's still full hit points. The E5 takes out the waffle, so the enemy are pretty much spread. There is a few reds around this area, but as we've seen, that the tortoise that was around to the right, he's now gone. There is a Death Star somewhere who's not spotted. There he is. Most of his team are around this area. Now, the Death Star is going to get spotted, and he's just got wrecked. He's absolutely wrecked. But Chipottles has now lost quite a bit of hit points, and the enemy have decided to start pushing. So it was a good push for the enemy. However, the AMX 30B, I think he was hoping that his team would come with him and rush the M60, but it didn't go to plan. It didn't go to plan, and the 30B sort of found himself on his own. So now there's just 2 tanks left, which is this E5. He's a one-shot. He's going to get taken out pretty quickly, and now it just leaves the waffle, which hasn't been actually seen all battle. He's not AFK. He's not AFK. He is around, and Chipottles is now going to go and find him. It's a 3-on-1, so as long as he doesn't get shot, there's the waffle in pretty much at the beginning, near the spawn area on the green team. So now, almost. So now Chipottles is going to go and rush him. He's going to rush him, and he's going to use that. He's going to use the AP. I think he maybe should have used the HE at first. I don't know if he did or not. He does use it that time around. Now hopefully he should reload just in time before the waffle reloads, and he can take him out for his 4th kill. So very good battle. 7,758 damage. He made it look really easy. I mean, 3 members of his team did 0 damage. So that was a complete carry on his behalf. Next up, we have RNG Messi, and he is driving another broke tank, another OP tank, and of course it is the Dracula. Now, he is bottom tier, so the Dracula is still, it's not got the greatest penetration. It's not got the greatest penetration, but it's still OP. I mean, it can still hold itself in when you're bottom tier against tier 8. It can still hold its own. With the speed of the tank, it's really easy to get away. It's really easy to farm damage in this tank. I mean, you can circle tanks. You can pretty much do just about everything. It has enough gun depression to get up on the heels. And so RNG Messi is going to flank round. And so far, no one has been spotted this side of the map. So the IS-6 is in the middle. The medium tank and the light tank's not been spotted. And there is still 2 TDs unspotted as well. So he's going to go into the enemy spawn. He's going to go into the enemy spawn, and hopefully he's going to open up some tanks, which is exactly what he does. Now, he's going to, first off, he's going to shoot the Panther, which originally I thought maybe he was AFK and is probably the wrong choice to go for. But it turns out he's not AFK and he decides to move on, which means Messi has to either sit here, which he is exposed, or he has to flank around, and that's exactly what he's doing. He went to flank around and he spots the T28 Defender. Now, the T28 Defender is pushing him, and he's got good armor. He's got good armor, and against a Dracula, it's going to be very hard to pen, and he definitely needs to use that Pramo if he's going to shoot his front plate. But this is what the Dracula is good for. This is what this tank is just absolutely amazing for, and that is circling. That is circling. You can also bait shots because the traverse and the reverse and the forward, just the speed in general is so quick. When you're circling the tank, if you sort of go back and forward, you're going to get tanks that do that, where this T28 Defender has now missed 2 shots on him, and all of a sudden he is dead, and the T54 Lightweight is now going to come in. However, his team are down. And he's lost a lot of hit points. He's, what, only 458 hit points left. Now, there's 4 tanks on the enemy team that can potentially one-shot him. So it's really only this Panther, and the Panther has recently been buffed. I will be making a video of the Panther because I just think the tank now is insane. I do really think it's a great tank. If the Panther was looking at the Dracula, the Panther has the DPM. I mean, if he's using the big gun or the better gun, it's like a 3.7 second reload. He's just not focused. He's focused on other tanks, and really he should have been dealing with the Dracula. So there goes the Panther. There's the Tiger 1, and he's still playing very aggressively. Even though it's a 4-on-4 and he hasn't got many hit points left, he's still playing very aggressively, and he's getting really up close to the red team. So there goes the IS, which now brings it down to a 3-on-3. Nice shot there in on the side of the IS-6. Now his teammate there is very low hit points, and it's only going to take 1 more shot to clear him, which is the Type 59. There's the Tiger. He needs to now think what he wants to do, because there's a Tiger and an IS-6 both there. The Tiger is not really a tank you want to be dealing with when you are low hit points, because it does have that rate of fire. It does have the armorish now. I mean, not so much here. So a Tiger's definitely not a tank you want to be messing with when you're very low hit points, unless the Tiger is silly enough just to rush past him and do that. Like, what was you doing? So now that he's bringing it down to a 3-on-2, and he's going to get some side shots there in on the IS-6, who now drops down, which will allow Messi to get back up where the IS-6 was and try and come at him from a different angle. Doesn't quite have the gun depression to get the IS-6, so instead he is going to go for the Blaze, which he does have shots on. So 4.8k damage so far with 2 kills. He's already done a great job. Now he's going to get 1 more shot in on the Blaze. Nice shot, and he does clear him for his 3rd kill. Now just leaving 3-on-1, and it is the IS-6. The IS-6 is just shot, so he's going to use this opportunity to use the mobility of this tank to try and get around him. However, the IS-6 is not the easiest tanks to circle, but he does manage to do it. Luckily, he literally just managed to do it, and the IS-6 now misses his shot, which will allow him to get a couple more shots into the IS-6. He's on 5,000 5,692 damage. Here comes the Type 59. Is he going to clear him? He's going to get one more shot, and the Type 59 is going to clear him for the kill. 5,895 damage in a tier 7 tank is crazy. Very well played, Messi. 1763 base XP for a tier 7 is absolutely insane, but well played. Next up, we have Hermes Godly. Hermes. Of course, no other than the Dracula, the most broke tank in the game. There's broke tanks, and there's broke tanks, and then there's the Smasher. It's kind of in a class of its own. It's the most broke tank in the game. It's so OP, and it shouldn't have ever been sold. It shouldn't have ever been sold. It should have never been put back into crates, because Wargaming knew that people wanted this tank so badly, they decided to put it in crates. And if you want it, you have to gamble to get it. Now, I'm not a lover of crates. I mean, I don't mind crates for tier 9 and 10, because that means if there isn't crates for tier 9 and 10, tier 9 and 10 will just be completely filled with OP or really good premium tanks like the T22. However, I don't agree with tanks any lower. I don't agree with crates any lower than tier 9, especially in tier 7. Now, Wargaming knew exactly what they were doing when they put this into crates. They knew that people wanted the tank, and they knew that people were going to gamble to try and get this tank, because it's a tank that everybody wants. It's the most OP tank in the whole game. Everyone wants it. Why wouldn't you want it? It's crazy. So Hermes, he is going to have a brilliant battle. Of course, it's a Smasher, and he's on Middlesbrough. And the enemy have pushed on to the right side. There's quite a lot of enemy there. There's quite a lot of red tanks there. There is also a couple, or at least one heavy that is flanking around the spawn area. But he does manage to take a kill out. So they are now leading on guns. There is the KV-1S that has flanked round, and there is the... Is it the T-44? I'm not sure what that tank was there. So he decides to turn around and try and deal with the flanking tanks before he deals with the tanks that are in front. Because the flanking tanks, the tanks that are flanking, are clearing his enemy out. It is the T-34-85. So if he can get this shot off, and of course he's going to get this shot, doesn't even need to aim. The accuracy is just broke on this tank, and he clears the T-34-85 in a one shot, no problem whatsoever. Now the Tiger makes the mistake here. The Tiger makes a mistake, but instead the VK protects the Tiger, and the VK suffers for it, and he gets his third kill. Now bringing it down to a 5-on-4. He's going to get a lovely HE shot any moment now into the side of the Tiger. 975 damage, putting him now on a one shot. So he can now just splash that Tiger, and it will be enough to clear him. Now he's going to turn around, because the VK on his team is being dealt with from the KV-1S that flanked. So as soon as he turns around, he's going to reload, and he's actually... Unluckily, he's going to miss. Now, the SU-152 has taken out one of his teammates. So now the red team has the advantage. It's a 3-on-4, and a couple of his tanks are still very low hit points, just like this VK. And there we go. So he's now going to turn for the KV-1S, and he does clear him to bring it down to a 2-on-3, and he is on 4 kills. 4 kills with 3 tanks left alive, and he's on 4k damage. He needs to get to this Tiger pretty quickly. Instead, he turns around, which is a good decision, because there is the other Tiger, and he can just clear him with a splash, as I said earlier. And the Tiger 1 Gamescon does now take out the KV-1S. So it is now a 1 versus 2. There is an SU-152 somewhere that can cause big damage if not, if he can get the shot off. Again, nice HE shot there into the side of the Tiger, and he is now on 6 kills, 5,000 damage with just 1 tank left to go. Now, the SU-152 is full hit points. He's already got 2 kills. He's already got 2 kills, so we know he's not AFK unless he's gone AFK mid-battle. Now, I don't quite know why the SU-152 wasn't helping his team up the top. I mean, he got 2 kills. I don't know where he got them kills from. But Hermes now, he has to go look for him. He wants to go look for him. He's on 6 kills and 5k damage. Of course he wants to go and look for him. The SU-152 cannot one-shot him. The SU-152 cannot one-shot him. However, if he's lucky, he can actually one-shot the SU-152. He has enough penetration, enough damage per shot to one-shot this guy. Not going to one-shot him. He's now pushing the SU-152. He wants the kill. He's not going to sit and cap. I think he's just sitting here for the... The SU is gone. And he just look how easy that is to HE. I mean, he could HE anywhere in the front. I know he failed the HE and done only 400 damage, but he failed that HE and still done over 400 damage. He's going to bottom plate and a nice victory. 7 kills, 6,063 damage. Rezani Top Gun High Caliber, 123 credits and 1,757 base XP. Love Godly, thank you for sending me that replay. Love Supreme Carrot, and of course is the newly broken or the game, and of course that's the Sheridan. Now he's going to get some shots that are just silly, that are just absolutely silly, and if I was on the enemy team, I'd be raging, because this map shouldn't really be a good map for the Sheridan because it's not got that many hills. But when you could do shit like this, I mean, what danger is he in? He is in no danger whatsoever. At all. He's not in any danger. There is no chance of anyone shooting him because he's behind a freaking train. But yet, he still has no problem whatsoever in getting damage on the enemy team. He is going to take a shot. He does get a shot in on the waffle. So he didn't really need to take that shot, but he had to open up the enemy. That they was all unspotted, and he had to see where they are. And now he can just come back behind this train and just farm some damage. I mean, there's the tortoise. He's going to farm some damage while hiding behind a track. And it's not like they are just the other side of this track. They are further up, and he's just completely farming damage without getting shot in return. Absolutely crazy, and that is something that definitely should not happen in the game. He's not just going to use the heat. He's not just going to use the missiles. He's still going to use the missiles wisely, and if he has to, that's the only time he's going to use the missiles, when he absolutely has to. If he can shoot the APCR, he is going to shoot the APCR. But when you're behind a building like this and you can do that, then why wouldn't you shoot? Why wouldn't you shoot the missile? Yes, it does kind of lower your DPM, but when you can get shots off like that, you're not hitting that. You're not hitting that with APCR, and it just makes me laugh. And again, no problem whatsoever. And he's got 1 kill, so his team are still dying. His team are still losing. But look, he's just always constantly trying to use this track for protection, and he's going to just poke his gun up in the air, shoot up. He did miss that. Unluckily, he does miss that, which is a shame because it would have cleared that tank. 2 versus 6. It's a 2 versus 6, and it's 2 light tanks with big reloads versus 6 tanks. Yes, there is, 2 that are one-shots, but still, this should never, ever be... this shouldn't be a win. This shouldn't be a win. And considering he's just had a nasty shot there from the T92, this should not be a win. His T92 on his team is still full hit points, which is a bonus. But he's going to take out 1 T92 on the enemy team to now bring it down to a 2-on-4. And they're now both running. They both running. The enemy is starting to push. Now just watch this shot on the Leopard. Watch this shot on the Leopard. On the move. Doesn't need to aim. The accuracy is too good. Everything about the tank is too good. It shouldn't have as much spaced armor as it's got. I reckon they could just remove the spaced armor. The spaced armor makes it more OP than it already is with the missiles. And even without the missiles, the tank is still a great tank. So he's now on 4,300 damage. He's only got 600 hit points left. So if the T92 on the enemy team can high roll and the E100 can sort of average to high roll, then it's only going to take 1 shot to clear him. Now, he is going to play it very risky indeed, against this T92E1. He misses that shot, which is unfortunate, but the T92E1 on his team is still almost full hit points. This is still a possible win, extremely possible win. The ST1 now comes around the corner, doesn't look at him, so it allows him to get one shot in him, now putting him down to a one shot. And the T91, the T92 on his team decides he should have run a long time ago. Now, this is where he messes up. He goes in for the ram. And he lost over 400 hit points. The ST has just shot him, somehow missed his shot, so he's going to wait just in time before the E100 can come, and he does take him out for his 5th kill. Now, all he has to do is relocate, coming from a different angle, and the best thing that could happen to him right now is if the E100 caps. But sadly, he goes through the cap and then decides to try and find the Sheridan instead of capping, which is probably the wrong decision. I mean, it's only going to take a HE shot. I know he's got spaced armor, but it's still only going to take a HE shot to clear the Sheridan. And now, because he's capping, he's going to use this for his advantage, and he's going to get up this little hill there. He's going to get some shots off, and he's not even exposing his tank once again. And even blind shots, I mean, he knew where he was. He's still capping. Let's go for the blind shot. Look at that, cap gone. And now, all of a sudden, the E100 is a one-shot. And I don't understand what the E100 does here. He decides, you know what, I'm going to push. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock. Why doesn't he shoot? Look, he's aiming. Why doesn't he shoot? Complete and utter potato. But fair play, well played to Carrot there. Supreme Carrot. 6 kills, 7,200 damage. Absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for sending me those replays in. We will have some more replays tomorrow night. I'm Meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye. With